Hello, my friends in the Law of Attraction Key community. It is so great to have you here. And today I want to talk about something that has to do with change. Now, that's a word that in itself creates a lot of fear, and it doesn't need to. And here's what happens with a lot of you, and what I've heard from a lot of you, is that you'll have a change that you've desired in your external world happen, and it stays for a while, and then it ends up going away again, and you can't figure out. It's like a lot of you are really frustrated with that pattern. So what I want to bring up here is the fact that when you want things to change in your external world, you're actually going to need to change in your internal world to accommodate that, to allow for it to last. So what I mean by that is you could muscle things to change all day long. The reason they don't sustain is because you haven't become the person that you need to be to sustain that shift, that adjustment, that growth, that expansion. So what does that mean? That means that you, first of all, when you decide you want any change in your life, you need to go into that willing to be the person that has that change, and that has that change in a sustained manner. And there are some great power questions that you can use to ask yourself to really facilitate that. So some of those are, okay, well, if this change happens in my life, and that's a great way of doing it because it opens your brain up to possibility, who is the person I need to be? You know, how do I, when this change is here, when this shift has happened, when this expansion has occurred, how do I think? How does that person think? How does that person really think? How do I treat other people? How do I treat myself? How do I handle obstacles that come up? Because obstacles are going to come up. How do I handle new change? How do I, it's so basically what you're doing is preparing yourself by getting into the mindset and the energetic space of who that person is that has that change already existing in their world. And just in doing that, you start to shift and become that person. And you have the capability for this in you. You're already everything you need to be for every desire that you have. It's just a matter of expanding into it, of stepping into it. And so for any of you that have experienced what I'm talking about, and hey, we've all experienced it, trust me, I have, that thing where you're like, oh, I made that thing happen, and then you're like, well, why isn't it lasting anymore? It's because you didn't grow with it. You didn't adjust your world to facilitate it, to make that very welcome in a lasting way. So that's what I'm calling you to do now. And I want to know, leave me a comment, let me know, hey, Kristen, I'm in. I am willing to expand not just my world and what I see externally, but who I am to make that world welcome and to make it welcome for a long time to come. I'm willing to become the person, to think in the way, to act in the way, to treat myself and others in the way, to handle obstacles in the way that the type of person who has that existing in their life forever acts, thinks, believes, and handles things. Okay, so let me know you're in. Leave me a comment. Ask any questions. I'm here for you. I'm thrilled to be with you on your journey. And until the next time I see you, keep going big. Bye-bye, everyone.